Hi, I'm Nicola Cairncross.
Hi, hello, hey, hi.
I'm going to talk to you about success. Yes.
Hi, it's Nicola here, and I wanted to welcome you back to the Vzine. It's Greek Independence Day today, which is an 11-year war that was fought by the Greeks to throw off the rule of the Ottoman Empire late last century, 1832-ish, I think, was when the war was won. So everybody is down the village today. It's extremely quiet around here today because everyone's down the village celebrating. Unlike yesterday, when we had all sorts going on. The Greeks are all getting ready for their big Easter season. It's the biggest holiday of the year here, Easter, and middle of next month is when it happens, 15th of April, and that's exactly the day we're going home. So we mistimed that rather badly. But yesterday it was all activity around here. We had some of the houses opposite having their front drives redone, which involved pneumatic drills, and then the next thing you know, this massive I think it's called a forklift or something, it came up the road and it was huge. We've only got a little tiny road, and then it spent a while manoeuvring into next door's drive, where it then proceeded to lift a massive concrete ring over the houses, which involved one of the Greek guys getting up in a most precarious spot to move the telephone lines out of the way. So I got some footage of that on Snapchat, and I've downloaded my story, and I hope it's going to show up in this Vzine for you, because it really was quite an enterprise. And it also involved the chainsaws coming out to get some olive branches lopped off so that the truck could get in. So it really was all go round here yesterday. Okay, let's crack on with the Vzine, shall we? I thought I'd just show you around quiet little bit of Greece I live in. Let's go for a walk, shall we? First of all, we've been having some driveways built just over here. It involves lots of trucks and digging and a pneumatic drill. And then down here we seem to have acquired a lorry and some sort of chainsaw. Quite a few chainsaws around here at the moment. Let's see what's going on here, shall we? Hello! Hey! Say hello! I thought I've got to come and see what's going on. How noisy is this? Could you get any more boys' toys in one driveway? Say hello! These are for all my friends in England. What's happening down there?
That's the pipe needs to go into that large hole.
Oh, okay. What's it all about then? Tony, let me interview you about your pipe. What's happening with the pipe?
Stuff there. Basically, the outflow from the kitchen there
Oh, yeah?
doesn't really go anywhere. It just disappears onto the garden.
Oh, right.
Which was fine when we were only here for a few weeks at a time.
Yeah.
But
It's inadequate. Yeah.
inadequate.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is making like a mini septic tank just there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which will just take the water from there and it will
Okay.
drain away
Yeah.
into the soil and water the trees
Yeah.
and what have you.
Of course, I have a very big vested interest in this because I'm going to be living here from June.
What we thought, we'd sort of get it
Yeah, marvellous.
sorted.
So I want to talk about accountability. Why is it important to become accountable to yourself? Well, when you're at work, you tend to be accountable to other people. You tend to have to turn in work by a certain date. There tend to be deadlines. There's a manager to make sure that you do what you said you're going to do. And there's often colleagues who are waiting for you to complete a piece of work before they can get on with their piece of work. When you move into a self-employed environment, it's all very different. And you don't really have anyone to be accountable to except yourself. And that seems to be a massive challenge for lots and lots of people. Why is it important to be accountable to yourself? Well, without it, things will never get done. If you know that you're here at A and that the desired outcome you want is here at Z, there are a number of steps that you have to go through to get there, and if you're lucky you know what a lot of those steps are, and you've also got a timeline in mind. I'm here now, I'd like to be there then, and assuming that my strategy works, i.e. all the steps I've planned out are the things that will get me from A to Z, and I want to do it in this time frame, this is what I need to do first, I imagine, this is what I need to do next, and you can actually work it out along a timeline, and I find that that's really very helpful for avoiding entrepreneur overwhelm, which which is where you feel like you have to do everything today. Well, I do anyway. So I'm obviously a kind of personality type who likes to do things as much as possible, as soon as possible. But I know that not everyone's like that. The other reason you need to become accountable to yourself is for your own self-esteem. We all get up in the morning and achieve an awful lot, often on autopilot. And if you're not feeling very good about what you're achieving in your work life, one good way to get you G'd up about it is to actually list down all the things you achieve in a day without even thinking about it. You set your alarm clock the night before, you get up, you clean your teeth, you go to the bathroom, you shower or bath, you get dressed, you make yourself some breakfast, you get out of the house without leaving everything unlocked. So you do actually achieve quite a lot. And in your work life, it's important to not only record what you're achieving, but to celebrate it as well, because everything that you can celebrate that you've achieved gives you a greater sense of self-esteem, which means that the next day you're more likely to get up and do it all again. So how can you make yourself more accountable? Well, one of the first things is to write a to-do list. I know that sounds completely basic and obvious, but a lot of people don't do it. If you sit the night before and think, what do I want to achieve tomorrow? And what have I achieved today? Start with that, what have I achieved today? Because that'll make you feel good. And then think to yourself, what do I want to achieve tomorrow? And write down a to-do list. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of making their to-do list far too long. I try to just have a 3-point to-do list. What are the 3 most important things I'd like to get done tomorrow to move my business forward in the way that I want it to be? Another way that people achieve accountability is to do 30-day challenges. They say that it takes 30 days to make a new habit, so a lot of people then do 30-day challenges because by the end of it, they will have acquired a new habit. So 30-day challenges are all about that. They're about you showing people that you are determined to do something for 30 days and that you are going to acquire a new habit. And they find that people going through challenges together, it makes an awful lot of difference because nobody wants to be the one who drops out first. Peer group pressure is huge. Another way people achieve accountability is by writing blog posts about it or making videos. You see a lot of these kind of fly on the wall kind of videos or before and after videos, and often people will actually chronicle their journey through this thing that they want to achieve. And by putting daily videos on YouTube saying how they're getting on and showing the demonstrable progress in the case of weight loss or fitness, that gives people a sense of accountability, and it also builds them a following at the same time, which is no bad thing if they then want to go on and help other people with the thing that they're doing themselves. And another way to make yourself accountable, of course, is to join a like-minded community. I'm in a couple of entrepreneurs communities, high-level ones, and I find that if I say I'm going to do something in that community, I jolly well do it because I don't want to look like a fool or a slacker. And that's why people also hire coaches and mentors. You know, if you come into my community membership group, then you will be asked to, tell me what you're trying to achieve. And if I don't see you in that group, I will be sending you a message to see where you are and what you're up to and what's derailed you if you haven't done what you wanted to do. So it's a really good way of making sure that you are accountable. In the same way that I'm accountable to myself, I don't want anyone to make themselves accountable to me, and not many people want to be feeling like you've got a school teacher or a mum looking over your shoulder. But if you voluntarily offer up what you'd like to achieve and then voluntarily make yourself accountable, you will find that you will achieve more than if you don't do something like that. So let's make it a productive week. Go out, be accountable to yourselves, keep your self-respect high, and achieve as much as you can.
Darling, you send me, I know you send me, darling,
And on the blog this week, I've made notes because I don't have my telephone because I'm busy downloading my Snapchat story, is how to price a job that you've never done before. This is a transcription of an old podcast episode, so if you prefer to listen, just go to Own It the Podcast and look for the title, How to Price a Job You've Never Done Before, because we discuss in detail how you should go about quoting for things when you don't really have any idea how much it's going to cost you in time, materials, effort and all that stuff. So we give you some certain guidelines to follow in that transcript over at nicolacairncross.com/blog. And also on the blog this week, we've got an article that is all about finding your offer that converts. If you've been watching for the last few V-zines, you'll know that was the content of one of my V-zines recently. And it's also the content of my Be Everywhere Online course, because I show people in that course how to take one sort of 8 to 10 minute bit of content and turn it into social media content for every single platform. So that's where it all started, with me talking to the camera in front of the sea that day. So if you're interested in how to do that, then do go and have a look. Also, I've put a bit of content from the Be Everywhere Online course onto the blog. It's the social media sharing schedule I drew up for myself. There's a lot of S's, isn't it? Social media sharing schedule. And it was for not just a simple one where you're producing one bit of content a week. It was when you're producing enough content to be sharing something every day. What you really want to do and try and avoid flooding all your social media with the same bit of content all at the same time. Something I know I am occasionally guilty of. So I've drew up the schedule for myself. I'm going to be sticking to it from Monday, and I'm going to be sharing it with you on the blog. So just go over to nicolacairncross.com/blog and you will see that there. It's a video. On the podcast this week, on episode 123, we are talking about how to evaluate opportunities. I was recently invited to go to Brisbane, as you know if you watched the V-zine last week, but a couple of weeks ago I was still wondering whether I should or not. And I had a good conversation with Judith on the podcast about how do you evaluate these opportunities where the benefit is not by any means certain and you don't know if it's worth doing. The other thing on the podcast last week, which you may have missed, is how to find an offer that converts. I've actually found one now, which is rather marvellous. I've had lots of offers that convert, but nothing as well as this. It's even converting on cold Facebook traffic, which is really pretty amazing. Not just converting, but washing its face in terms of advertising cost to profit. So that's really very cool, because it means that you can get in front of unlimited numbers of prospects once you have got an offer that converts. And that's really one of the most exciting things when you're working online, is to get to that point. So I hope you enjoyed the V-zine this week with all the shenanigans going on in Easy Street, as it's known up here, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye. So let's get my eyes sorted where they're pointing in the right direction. That's always good, and both at the same time. Right. Okay. Oh, I've been pestered by a fly now. Oh my God, go away. It's so hot today.